Well, this will be the next tree.
Let's see how old this tree is. So throw a guess in the comments. Curvy cuts. I have a tendency now to sweep more and then I check more. So I started turning my logs 180 degrees instead of 90, and I'll tell you why. Cut 4 logs. How much lumber did I get?
The diameter towards the bottom is about 28 inches, so it's about as big as I can cut on my LX50 Super Mill. As you see, the first thing I got to do is clear some little trees out from around it. I certainly don't want to get caught. It looks like I got a clear drop this way. Got a little bit of a lean that way, but I think it'll be okay.
I did cut a wedge in the front of the tree. I don't think there was a need to show you the entire sawing. I just wanted to show you the very end of it, where I just cut into the wedge, and then I throw in my wedges to take it down the rest of the way so you can watch a tree fall. Now comes the trimming. I used my little 14-inch Echo saw. It works really good for this small trimming. I was able to nail this out in about an hour, and then you have the bare logs.
Like I said, you always think a tree is straight till you get her down in the ground and take a real good look at it. I'll try to zoom in here when I edit it to show you the curves. It's got like a kind of a S and then down towards the end. But right now we're going to measure this out and start cutting the lengths.
Now I need some 10-foot logs. I need some 10-foot 1x8, so that's kind of what I'm going to be cutting up. Mostly I'm going to try to get as many 10-foot as I get. I'm going to cut at 10.6. Now I want you to remember that these trees I'm cutting down, they are on my property, and I am going to try to figure out, or try to at least count the rings, the growth rings of this tree, just to see how large it really is. And remember, these trees, they grow a long time to give us this wood, so I need to start appreciating a little bit. I really didn't think about it till I started milling, and you really don't notice it when you go to a store when you buy wood. You don't think about the trees that's come down. So I guess I need to be not so wasteful and make sure that I use the wood that the tree and God has given me to the best of my ability.
I don't know whether you can see it, but there's a significant bend right about here that starts bending that way. I should be able to get another 10-footer out of it. We'll measure it and see.
Well, I couldn't get a 10. I got a 9 out of it. A 9 and an 8 is what was left with this tree. While cutting, I did get my saw stuck. I do make that mistake once in a while, but continue to watch to the end so you can see how much wood I actually cut and how I cut up a cant to get the most I can out of the log. Now, in order to drag the logs out, I am going to have to clean up some of the stuff around it, especially in the front as I drag it this way. Now, I also want to make you aware that during this video, I will be measuring the log more to show you exactly how I try to keep it square and what technique I use to keep it square, the 180 turn versus just the 90 turn. So continue to watch, and please subscribe, like, share, and ring that notification bell if you can. Well, now I'm ready to drag into place. I have 6 logs to drag into place. The last one, which is coming up, was the heaviest by far. The tractor it had a hard time getting it into place. But this little BX25 didn't manage the job.
We're getting ready to start these logs. The weather is not really cooperating. I'm getting a lot of wind and I'm getting some sprinkles, but I'm going to try to work between the raindrops here a little bit. I don't have a lot of time, and like I said, it's raining quite a bit, or not raining yet, but there's quite a bit of wind, and I think storms are coming in.
Still a lot of the threat of rain today. I've already sawed 2 logs, the 2 smallest ones. You see I still have the 4 biggest ones left. Those are all 10 foots. The first one I sawed was a 8 foot, and all I got off of it was one by 6 by 8, and this one here that you see is this one here at my foot is a 6 by 6 by 8. Now the next one was 9 foot. I got quite a bit more wood out of it. First thing I got was this 2 by 8 by 9, and then I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 1 by 8, 2 1 by 7s by 9s, 2 1 by 2 by 9s, and one I'll use as a sticker, which is a 1 inch by 9 foot too, 1 by 1. So that's what I've started with. I'm not doing a lot at one time, and it's hard to set up the camera when there's a threat of thunderstorms. It picks up, bad clouds come through. I'm keeping on working right now, just trying to do what I can before it rains. So bear with me as I'm not taping a lot, but I'm gonna let you know how much lumber I get out of this one tree. I think that's a good thing to know. So far, cutting's been good with the new blade. I haven't had any issues. Everything's been square. I've been checking it a lot. I've been brushing it off like I told you I needed to do. So we'll keep on going until the rain pushes me back into the cabin.
Yesterday, before I quit, I rolled the third log on. I already have set the piss, so I'm ready to cut. After my episodes with curvy cuts, I have a tendency now to sweep more, and then I check more. So sweep and check. A viewer sent in a comment one time here that why don't I leave the hold downs up in the up position all the way when I roll these over so they don't roll back on me. And I'll tell you what, I took the suggestion, and it will help me prevent hurting myself or this rolling back off at me. So thank you for the comments, and keep them going and help me learn and work this sawmill. Now I'm speeding this cut process up quite a bit here. I am going to give you some more measurements and stuff on the next log, so make sure you watch till the end. And towards the end, I'll also give you the age of the tree by counting the rings, and also the total amount of lumber I got off these first 4 logs from this tree. As you see, I turn it 180 when I take that cut. It seems to work better for me. I can measure the actual ends to make sure they're even, to make sure I'm not out of square, and then when I roll it up, I'm rolling up on one end, and I will be able to put a square on it. And then I also go ahead and adjust the pith at this point too. Now on the YouTube videos, I've seen it done both ways, mostly 90, but it's just this 180 seems to work the best for me. Now here I'm going to flip it on its side because I want to try to cut down that one side to an 8-inch cant before I just start ripping right down from the top on down. Now that last cut it down to my width to 8 inches. Now I can just rip through my 1x8s here and get as many as I can cut down to the area of the pith. Now around the pith, I'm going to want it down all the way. I'm going to flip it over because I want the pith to be in the very last board, which is going to be the 2x, which is my last cut on the very bottom of this log. Okay, now it's time to cut the flinches. I'm going to buzz through this real quick. There's a lot of different techniques for this. I still haven't refined my technique enough. I seem to be getting better. I am saving more wood from what I was from cutting flinches. I cut more 1x2s. I cut more 1x1s, and try to use every bit of piece of wood I can get. And please continue to watch, because the next log is coming up. Then after that, I'll start giving the totals for the day from the first 4 logs, and we'll also let you know the age of that tree. All right, that was log number 3 of that tree, and I'm getting better and better yields because, well, they're getting bigger around. So bigger around, better yields. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 1x8s, 1 1x7, 1 1x6, and there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 1x2s, and 1 2x8, and kind of a piece of a, I can get a little bit of a sticker out of that. Not much of one, but pretty good yield. Everything here is now 10 foot. Now this is log number 4 from that tree. It's actually a 10 foot long also, and it has a 17.5-inch diameter, which is a lot like log 3, which was a 17-inch. So it should be, yield should be very similar. They're getting heavier and heavier, but I do manage to roll it on. I'm glad I have a little more leverage with the longer can hook, and as always, I'm trying to get the mud off this so I don't ruin a blade. Now this is the last log on this video. I have 2 logs left from that tree. I will be getting them the next video. They're pretty big, so that will give me some the final numbers. But continue to watch, and I will make sure I get you the final numbers of these first 4 logs. I am turning it again 180, as I said I do now. It does help me. I do, then after my next cut, I try to, when I have enough room, I try to make some measurements here to make sure that both sides are the same height, so I can start getting everything nice and square and level. And here you see me measure the height of the can. Now for me, this is an important part of the procedure. I do roll it up. I do check it for square, and then I have to adjust the pith on the end, so I have to crank up the other end. And then I will check it for square one more time before I actually do some cutting. Once I get near a clean cant on all 4 ends, then I start looking to see exactly what size can I can get out of it and what lumber I can get. Now I have a 11-inch wide cant, and it's 10-inch high. Now, as you can see, I do a lot more measuring to try to determine what lumber I can get out of it. I suppose somebody a little more experienced does not need all these measurements. They go through it a little quicker. Now here I'm going to flip it again. You may wonder why, but I want to keep that pith kind of in the center. I'm making that side the 8-inch part of the cant, so when I come down I can just rip a bunch of 8-inch boards right out of it. I suppose that same saying goes here too. Measure twice or 3 times and cut once. Once you cut, there's no turning back. Now my next cut will involve the other side of the pith. Now I just flipped the pith on the bottom. I probably could cut my 2-inch board now, but I feel more comfortable with it on the bottom. Then plus I use it to cut as a backing for my flitches. We're going to buzz through the flitches and then we'll get the log actual haul that we got out of the lumber, and then we get to see how old the tree is, so stay tuned. Well, I'm getting there. I've gotten 4 cut up from that tree. I'm going to total everything up from the 4 trees and put them on at the end of the video, which is shortly. Now I will cut the next 2 trees up, the biggest ones, up on next week. So I also got to get ready for some more board of the batten. I do have some 6 inches that I cut. I may have to cut some of them down to 4-inch to make some trim and to make some other things, but I want to make sure I have enough stuff when I get some help. If I don't use it all then, you know what? I'll use it all later. I want to eventually make a little building for my unit here to slip in easily when it's raining. I also want to make a new outhouse. So I have lots of things I can use it for, so I'm not worried about having a little bit much. But this is what I got. I got another 2x8, and there's the pith right in the middle. That's where I want it. And I have 14 1x8s, 3 1x6s, a bunch of 1x2s. No, I'm not the best, but I'll use them somewhere. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 1x2s, and a bunch of stickers over there. And like I said, the stickers, some of them bust apart, and you use them later, but it is what it is. So, but I'm going to give you the total of all the boards that I've cut so far from this tree, and that would be 4 logs. The 2 biggest ones are coming up here next week. And then after that, hopefully I have the board and batten put up and I can make a video on the board and batten. So maybe 2 weeks away we have some board and batten. If not, I'll figure out something. But like I said, here's the total of all the boards. I'll count them up, and it's up here in the corner so you can see. I'll also give you an Amish price on them so far, and then at the very end I'll give you a total Amish price on the whole tree. I'm also going to find out the age of the tree. Here, I'll count that, count it up here this afternoon. I'm getting ready to count these now. So if you like, take a guess, and then we'll see at the end. I'm going to get as close as I can. I got a magnifying glass. I got a pencil to mark it. I had to sand some of it through here because I don't know what happened, but it got real narrow through here. Had a few hard years there. So, let's get started. That's 24 to here, and it gets real small, so I marked it so I can keep on going here. It's 50 years old to there. You see, these aren't real fast growing trees. They kind of grow kind of slow. 75 to there. And here it gets real small too. I got 105 to there. 139 to there. Okay, I got 144 years. Granted, this is not exact. I might have missed 1 or 2 here. I don't think I added any extra, but I might have missed 1 or 2. It gets hard to see, especially where it gets real thin in here. I might have missed 1. I don't know what happened during these years. There's about 15 years in here where it grew very slow. It might have been covered by something. And then later on, it was about 10 years ago or so, I had it, maybe more like 12 years ago, I actually had it timbered out. So I think when I had timbered, it got more sun and it started growing faster. That would be my guess. I had them timbered out. They took a lot of cherry out, a little bit of oak. I had them take some this hemlock out around the house. But you see, these don't grow that fast. That's 144 years old. Measured 144 from there to there, and that's 14 inches there. So here's the age of that tree also, and I will also give you the height at the end, but I'll give you the age on this one here. So continue to watch. Please watch my other videos. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your comments. As I showed you today, some of the comments I have put into effect in my sawing, and I do appreciate it. I need all the help I can get. So if you can, please subscribe and share and ring that bell and like and all those things that help my channel grow. Help this old man out. So once again, this is the old man with the plan, and I'll see you later.